came to me with and said, the section we do, the segment we do, how about expanding it and bringing other people in? And I think it's a great idea. We've kicked around this idea for a while. But I think it offers so much to the listener. I mean, we maybe talk about physical here, but we'll be talking about emotional, spiritual, better health for the all-around person.
Yeah, it has been great that we've been able to communicate with so many people that are like, I didn't realize how diverse we could actually go with this until you start talking to people, and then they're jumping totally on board and they're willing to contribute, which is just absolutely awesome.
Now, we're going to kick things off today talking more of the physical, and we kind of had this conversation after the new year about getting back on track. Here's one of those issues is some people, okay, so maybe 2 weeks into the new year, they start to get back on track again, and then, Valentine's Day, and, Family Day, and guess what? We're off track again. Do you find that that's the case, that some people, come back or maybe really hit the gym or, your place early on and then it starts to peter off?
Yeah, and actually we play with it a little bit. Like we've got a little sign that's out by the road on Reach Street, and that's actually what we put on it was, okay, the gym is safe, January's over.
Yeah, and it's okay to come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well. Now, you guys had a special weekend as well on Saturday, on Family Day. You brought some people in.
Yeah, we had an open house. We had basically family members of students and friends, and they invited everybody to come in for some free classes. And so we went right from spin class at 8:15 all the way to an adult Aikido class until 1 o'clock. So, and it was neat because I got to meet some people that I don't usually see that are already people that are involved in the business. Like we had a woman that came in. Normally she does spin classes, but she did Aikido on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she was great. Absolutely phenomenal. So hopefully we can, sort of get her to see what some other opportunities that we can offer too.
Is that maybe part of the secret too in making sure that, you are moving, that you are staying fit, in having that support around you and people understanding? Because I've heard of situations in the past where maybe somebody's a runner or whatever, and it's that sabotage, right? You're going out again. Oh, you're doing that again. And that starts to creep into the mind.
Yeah, actually, it was interesting. We'd already sort of figured out that this was what we wanted to talk about this month, and I was reading a post from a woman, and she said that it was a picture of her a few years ago on a beach with her husband, and she said, "I'm going to get back in shape. I owe it to me, and I owe it to my husband," or something to that effect. And so I think it's funny that you can get couples that the one person is just trying to look good for the other person, and the other person almost sabotages it a bit.
Well, and that probably is internalizing, and it's one of those subjects I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. But feeling bad about themselves, so it's easier to bring somebody back down to where you're feeling at that moment.
Yeah. What we talked about, energy feeds energy. So you can get bad energy, and you can get good energy too.
Well, from your perspective, Jennifer, what did you pick up from Saturday in meeting some of these people?
In meeting some of these people, I think that it was just, sorry, I'm losing my little feed here. Oh. It's not so much about meeting new people, I think, in that context, but reintroducing or introducing new people to the activities that we're providing. That's always exciting for us in terms of sharing what we love to do.
Was there a surprise from anybody going, oh, I never realized you guys did that here?
Not so much that I don't think that they were surprised that we did it. I think if anything, we saw
maybe
people were surprised that they could do it.
Oh, okay.
If anything, like, and that's like when we used to teach a woman's self-defense course, and one of the drills I would do is get them to hold a pad, and they can just do whatever they want. They can punch it, kick it, whatever. And so the one person will hold a pad, the other person just goes and starts doing whatever. And the number one reaction I get from women after the course, I'll teach them techniques, I'll teach them a bunch of street awareness and stuff. But in the end, they walk out going, that drill where I was hitting the pad, I felt so empowered. Like all of a sudden they realized they could punch and they could kick stuff, and that you didn't have to be a professional fighter in order to defend yourself.
Right. And I guess maybe, Jennifer, that's part of it too, is it is something you can control if you are exercising.
Yeah, that sense of empowerment and control is really, really important. And if we're looking at it from a couple's perspective, where you're talking about either support or sabotage, that's the key. So if we're, as a couple, wanting to work as a team, it's not even necessarily that you have to be together and be working out together all the time, which we love that. Scott and I love that time together, and we really enjoy that sense of camaraderie, but also
pick up that weight.
Well,
Come on,
we do, and we have
Take out that trash. Oh no, that's something different. Yeah,
not quite.
That's good exercise.
But we have a sort of a healthy competition between the two of us, but nothing ridiculous. But
as long as I win.
As long as you win, you just keep believing that.
As long as it's a healthy competition.
But sabotaging your partner is probably one of the number one things that couples do to each other, maybe even like subconsciously, that they don't mean to do it. Whether it's that backhanded remark, like you said, "Oh, you're going out for a run again," or
you don't want to spend time with me.
Yeah. And you know, I think we could all have personal anecdotes. All of us, everybody listening right now, would have some sort of personal anecdote where they either felt that or where they even were the perpetrator of it. And it's you know, comes from a place of jealousy, or it comes from a place of insecurity. So if we can work to get through that stuff as a couple and just keep supporting each other, then it's going to be that much healthier for the relationship.
So it all boil down to mindfulness, thinking about the other person. Maybe I have been doing too much, and maybe today is one of those days I do stay home.
Yes,
kind of
however, and I'll say this from my own personal perspective of having worked, you know, marathon training and obstacle course training and things like that, is that when you are full into the, you know, to the dog days of your training, there are days where you have to put that first. Where if you're going out for a 2, 3, 4 hour run, you got to do it. and you know, perhaps the mindfulness there is calculating the time when it's going to be least destructive to the family or to the relationship, that kind of thing. So if it's getting your butt out of bed so you can hit the road for 6 o'clock in the morning before the rest of the house is up, maybe that's the best way to do it.
And I guess too, Scott, you know, when you're getting into a relationship, is understanding what that relationship is probably going to be about. I mean, when you and Jennifer got together, you knew that she was into the fitness, and you know, and whether or not she was into karate or something like that, you knew that you had a lot of commonality there.
Yeah, I liked your word when you said mindfulness. There's a mindfulness where, like, I think part of it has to be instilled in the confidence of the relationship. Like, we do stuff together. Obviously, we're teaching, we're training in classes and doing martial arts together, or we'll go to the gym together and work out. But she did an indoor triathlon, and that's not my thing. You know, but I also know she's got to train for it. So there's a point where, as a supporter, you go, go do your biking, do your running, do your swimming. And she was really respectful as to when she did that. She didn't just all of a sudden say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not teaching now, so I can go and swim." Like, you know, there was, you know, a reaction, an interaction between the two of us as far as how that was going to get done. But the day she went and she competed, I was there. I was supporting her, and why wouldn't I?
Well, and there's that again. We get back to that support, because if it's not there, it can feel like you're wearing a backpack of guilt.
Yeah, as the athlete, I think you can feel like you're wearing the backpack of guilt, and I think as the non-athlete, if that's the way to put it, you're feeling left behind. And I think that nobody wants to feel left behind. And it's not always easy to be with a really high functioning person. And I think for Scott and I, that was our huge attraction to each other, that we were both fairly high functioning and really busy and really wanted that within ourselves and within each other and as a couple. So we're lucky. We're very lucky that we found that, but not all couples do. And so being able to find that balance of what you need for yourself as, you know, I sort of use the word athlete, but just being active and mindful, but, you know, perhaps maybe it's imbalanced within the relationship. So finding that where you're not feeling like you're sabotaging your partner, but you're also not leaving your partner behind.
But doesn't it go with anything? Like if you're into football and you watch, you know, Monday Night Football every Monday night, and that's your thing, and your partner's not into it, but they have an understanding that you're going to sit and watch football for 3 hours, like, you know, so whether it's football or whether it's running or whether, you know, we're totally two different individuals. You know, mm-hmm. So if I know that this is what Jennifer does, then I got to respect that because she's my partner.
Well, there's a conversation that's been had, and there's an understanding there.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in a vacuum, I think that's probably the biggest thing. So I'm getting back into shape.
Are you running again?
Not running again, but I am looking at doing it again.
Okay, so we're in stage minus 0.
Stage denial, yes.
I'm gonna do. I want to
Stage
do
plan.
something.
I want to do something.
Stage
Don't
planning.
really want to do.
However, what I have done is I've been on the exercise ball every day, and I am doing hand weights and things like that, squats, those kinds of things, and then looking to get back in. It got a little icy there, so I was a little worried about it, especially having hernia surgery a few years ago. But I definitely want, and it feels like I'm missing something. Like I want to get out, even once in a while to go back on that run. What pushes me that one little step to get there?
Oh, I think only you can find what's going to take you that one little step. Some people might be accountable to something like an app, or some people might be accountable to a group where you join, a club, a running club, a cycling club, wherever it is, or you get your running buddy or your spouse. So I think you have to find what works for you to get that little notch over the hump of feeling like you just don't want to do it. People talk about motivation. Oh, I need more motivation to do this. I just can't find the motivation. Honestly, it's not about motivation, because motivation truly is fleeting. It's discipline. If you want it, structure it and go get it.
Good words to get me motivated. I will be running. I will be running again. John, I'll be getting some new running shoes.
Me too. Can we have a bulk deal, John?
Yeah, maybe we
all
can.
need shoes.
We'll talk to John Rodich, get him in here, and maybe we can get a bulk deal here at some point.
Wellness Wednesday with John Rodich, and he's going to be sizing everybody. I can see it coming now.
This could be a retail experience right here. Well, listen, guys, thanks for kicking off Wellness Wednesday. And again, we're going to be doing this every Wednesday around 8:30. We've got a number of different guests that we're going to be bringing in, and looking forward to covering a ton of different subjects. And for the most part, Scott's going to be here. I think there may be 1 week that you're not here.
Yeah, there's a couple weeks.
We need our own wellness away in Dominican.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Maybe we should take, you know what?
We could do a road trip.
Technology, if we could do it, we could do the morning show there.
That'd be great.
Oh, no kidding.
Dan's got to work out more now. He's got to get that beach body.
Can you give me a couple months? And my boss is driving into the ditch, by the way, right now, when I told him that I wouldn't be doing the morning show from here. So
whatever works.
It's okay, boss. It's okay. I know technology-wise.
But thanks for setting this up for us. Thanks for creating these Wednesdays. I think it's going to be a really neat little spot.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Jennifer, Neveu, Campsall, and Scott Campsall. And again, Wellness Wednesday returns again next Wednesday.